But for good or bad, the whole night was taking a time machine back to ECW. Then this was, where are we?
So, JBL and the Blue Meanie. Very quickly before we talk about the Bradshaw Meanie initial heat, whatever that might be, how soon before One Night Stand was Meanie contacted to come to the show? Do you know?
I think like probably 2 to 4 weeks would be my. It wasn't like last minute. BWO was figured in some way, but I have to say conservatively, it'd have to be on the short end 2 weeks, maybe a month, not like 2 or 3 months ahead. It was all within like getting through whatever it was, Judgment Day, and now we're heading towards One Night Stand.
Now, Simon Dean, he was at the time. Mike Bucci, he reverted back to Nova, Supernova, and then Hollywood Nova for BWO at the time. He was with WWE. Was Meanie ever figured in with maybe getting a contract, or was this always just going to be a one-shot affair?
As far as I know, a one-shot affair until what's about to happen.
Okay, then.
Happens.
So, what was the initial heat between Bradshaw and Meanie, if you're aware of any?
I'm only aware from the stories I heard Meanie tell about it, after the fact, is because he did an RF Shoot interview and he called Bradshaw a bully. And he might have shared some details about, Bradshaw messing with him or whatever, but he basically said that Bradshaw was a bully, and that set John off.
Was Bradshaw possibly drunk that night?
Well, they kept shooting these guys drinking all night. I don't think he was nursing the same beer. I don't know. That's pure speculation. But also, there was, just moving forward, there was the possibility of a lawsuit, and that's my educated guess as to why Meanie had a temporary short-term contract.
Oh, it was some sort of, I see what you mean, a quid pro quo kind of thing and a decent payoff.
Well, okay. We'll get through this, and then I'll give my theory because it's attached to the timeline of the chair shot.
So after the match, after Tommy Dreamer is pinned, and then it's the ECW guys facing off against all the WWE guys who were taunting the ECW fellas through pretty much the second half of the pay-per-view. And I figured this was a Vince McMahon call, just to get interested, get some WWE fans interested into an ECW pay-per-view and, what would happen if they all go against each other. And that is what they did at the end of the show after the match.
And who am I looking to punch in this? Who am I stretched out with everything I got? I'm right here in the middle.
Is that Basham?
It might have been Doug Basham, yeah. It might have been Doug Basham. I even put Carlito through a table. I dumped him over the top. Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, I got my stuff in, dude. No way. That was my time to shine, baby. But this is what we're talking about right here, all the way in the back. Now, I think Meanie had said, because he thought he was working, and you're talking to Bradshaw, who's already mad and already might be hopped up, if you know what I mean. He already might be in an aggressive nature. And Meanie's trying to talk it up. And I saw an interview he did, and I might be misquoting him slightly, but he goes, "Come on, Cowboy, you want to go? You want to go?" And I think he said, "Cowboy, you want to shoot?" or something that he was hoping the fans would hear to make it look real. And Bradshaw obliged him. So here we go. There's Meanie. Bradshaw is looking for him. Now, also in this way, I believe before this even happens, Al Snow is trying to get between them. Al Snow has told that story. He was trying to get between them he saw John's eyes and he saw the way it might have went down, and Al was trying to get between them, but John got past him, and there he goes. Got to give it to Meanie, though. Meanie took some good shots, and he stayed on his feet. There he is. He got him right there with that punch. Now, he's got Meanie still. They're right there in the middle, right here.
Yeah, I want to apologize I'm sorry for interrupting, Stevie. I want to apologize for like the sort of cutting of between the clips because the camera keeps cutting. So what I've done is I've taken out all the camera shots that doesn't feature Meanie and Bradshaw. So that's why it might be a bit sort of stop-start and weird.
Oh, look at me. I'm over here on the left. Look at this guy. This young up-and-comer. Bam, I'm going to punch you. I'll show you. Oh. See, those are not like Seth Rollins. I'm actually rearing back.
Is that Tyson Tomko in the right?
Yes, it is, right here.
There you go.
That's Tomko.
We actually talked about Tyson Tomko on Storytime with Dutch Mantel this past Monday that's returned. I just thought I'd mention that.
I mean, he's got a little bit of a headlock, but I don't think this is going to make John calm down. I think it might make him angrier. Oh, that's a shot right there. Right in the jaw. You got to give it to Meanie. He's closing the distance. He's not taking any shots where John can get all the momentum. And Meanie's fighting back. I mean, Meanie's fighting back in a work sense. There's Edge. Now, John's got blood right on his shirt. And that's Meanie's. Meanie's got his face busted open pretty good.
Now Meanie's actually in the top right-hand corner. You can't see him because of a couple of red shirts in the way, including, I don't know if one of them's, I think one of them might be Snitsky there because he looks bigger than William Regal. And
that is Snitsky.
And the other one is friend of the show, Maven Huffman.
There's Maven. Future episode of WSI. There we go. That's C.W. Anderson right here. There's Chetty. There's Swinger, maybe. There's Roadkill. And there's me with that actual tricep at the time. I'm stomping somebody. There's Danny Doring. There's Swinger. There's Meanie's face right there. Can't really see it, but
there's footage.
He's definitely.
Yeah, there's footage at the end. But if you zoom out again, try and find Bradshaw. He's in the bottom right-hand corner. It seems that Tracy Smothers.
I see him right there.
Yeah.
Tracy was mad about it too. Yeah, Tracy, rest in peace, wanted to fight him after this. So, yeah, he's just. I don't think anybody really is aware, James, of what really happens. It's a surreal thing that. Is this really happening? And it's already done by that point. You might think this is going on forever, but this is less than a minute that you have here, 56 seconds in total, less than 2 to 3 minutes total for everything going down. There's Bradshaw. Oh, you got a split screen. Thank you. There's Al. I think Al's asking Meanie if he's okay. Meanie's talking to him.
But Sandman's now got Bradshaw as well. So I'm wondering if Sandman knew and he basically got the canes help restrain. But Meanie sort of has the wherewithal to get to the other side of the ring as far away as possible. And also, this isn't in the video, but Bradshaw is the last person in the ring until about 10 of the ECW guys basically just usher him off. And it's Bubba Ray Dudley who sort of like pushes him gently back towards, where the rest of the WWE guys are outside.
Yeah, Meanie took some shots, man, and stayed on his feet and stayed like with it and keep doing stuff. You can say whatever you want, even with the gimmick that he had and anything. Professional wrestlers as a whole are tough. And in that situation, whether it's scripted or not, and somebody's roughing you up and you can take it and stand there, and this obviously was not scripted, but I think Meanie, like when it started, you're like, oh God, I'm in it. And Meanie didn't back up. Meanie stayed close to him and Meanie stayed paired up to him and tried to do whatever he could to finish, I guess, the segment off. What are you going to do at that point? And then in the back, there was arguing back and forth that I witnessed and John yelling at Meanie about something about that interview and calling him a bully and all that stuff, which is, okay. I mean, what did you do to disprove the point of that? You know what I mean? That's the way a normal person would think, right? Not crazy wrestlers. So, but these guys these guys now, I said it before, these guys are friends, are actual friends, and it's a strange business. After all this is said and done, Bradshaw's trying to get Meanie a spot in the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia. Bradshaw's getting Meanie tickets. They're taking pictures together. They're talking. Who knows if they're still texting on the phone and doing whatever. It's a funny business. a year from now, I could be like, hey, did you catch the workout video Triple H and I are selling for people 5'2" and above?
I was going to say, I can't believe, Stevie, you really are a foot taller than Triple H. Are you, well,
he's a fine gentleman. How dare you?
You're in the backstage then. So if you could flesh out that, I mentioned Tracy Smothers, he was angry. There was a confrontation or a further confrontation, or at least some yelling back and forth backstage. Anything else you can sort of add to that? Was it Tracy Smothers who would basically, I think he would go about on the indies sort of like challenging Bradshaw to a fight at some point?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, he would. Tracy's no pusher. Tracy's a super tough guy. So that whole thing, and he loved the Meanie, and Meanie loved him, and, you know, for Tracy to stand up for him, I don't know. Like, when it came back, like I said, the whole thing, the whole night was surreal, for good or bad. And obviously this isn't the good part, but for good or bad, the whole night was taking a time machine back to ECW. Then this was, where are we? What are we doing? This is not pro wrestling. This is legitimately the weirdest, most surreal, awkward moment that I had up until that point. Then in the back, they're yelling at each other. And to his credit, Meanie went right up to him too. They were face to face. So